Hello. Just a little, a few thoughts that have been running through my head the last few days. And I'm still undecided with these videos and my thoughts, whether to sort of wing it to a degree, as I'm doing with this one now, or actually produce something resembling a script, as I did with my introduction, to see how it goes. I do kind of like just talking about things off the cuff. I'm not the greatest at editing though. Something I need to get better at if I'm going to do this style of rambling, if you want to call it that. It was sort of provoked by, I watched a recent video by TFM, where I was in discussion with Human, and this sort of revelation, if you want to call it that, that Human has a girlfriend, and there are differing opinions on that. Not that it matters or should matter to anyone else at all, but it got me thinking. Not something that just suddenly occurred to me. It's been in the back of my mind for a while. But the notion of, well, not the notion. The idea behind MGTOW is what the words in the acronym sort of stand for. It's every man going his own way and figuring that out for himself. Not sort of sticking to hard and fast rules that everybody has to adhere to. That's sort of the opposite of what it's meant to be, I think. I know that can sort of fly in the face of labelling something MGTOW, or any label. But of this, this idea that this YouTube content creator has chosen a particular path, or chosen to have a female in his life, to whatever that degree that is, keeping them at arm's length and being fully aware of how the legal system works and just how society works as a whole, is his choice, and I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, and the same way with every sort of person I've listened to or read. That's not what going your own way is meant to be, really. I think it's information. I think it was Human said, it's sort of the information that is out there, that's been put out there by men, and the information that is there for you to see and digest and internalise as best you can, accept, reject, whatever. That leads you to find out more about yourself and to be selfish and put yourself at the centre of your own world, so you can start taking those steps to better yourself, and to live your life for you. That doesn't mean you do it in complete isolation. It means you can if you want to, if you want to go monk, if you want to live, in the mountains alone, for 11 months out of the year, and just heading back to civilization when you really need to, then that's your decision. If you choose to pump and dump, your decision. If you choose to have girlfriends here and there, your decision. Choose to get married, again, your choice. Using the information that's there for you and being fully aware and having your eyes open. And it is hypocritical to some degree of some guys who say I just want flings or just want to use women for their own advantage, and then sort of like the pump and dump mentality. To be turning around and saying you can't have a girlfriend if you're MGTOW. I mean, it's something I struggle with. Or something that's difficult to approach maybe when you're talking about it. Of it being this notion of MGTOW being a group of men, like it's a club, and rather than it being the source of information where like-minded men or men who are struggling can come and talk about their issues and the problems and have a sympathetic ear, and people who've been there or who will tell you the hard truths but not dismiss your problems and how you might be struggling. But it's not that everybody has to live the same way. It's not like, well, you're out of the club now because you're not doing this. It's men looking out for each other and being there for each other in a way, knowing that it's a solitary life and it's you against the world in a way, and it's how you choose to navigate that. If you want to sort of be undercover blue pill or you want to be hardcore red pill, while you're dealing with other people and all the variables in between, that's up to you to decide. And not like I'm a guru on this subject, far from it. I'm just human like everybody else and still trying to figure things out, and probably always will be to some degree. I think personally for me though, headspace where I'm at now definitely is I wouldn't go down that route of having a girlfriend. It's far from my thought, really. You know, I mean, the biology is always there, and hopefully most men know that. It's to a large degree, everybody's different again, but it's not something you're going to be able to escape completely. It's something you have to manage and be conscious of how it works, and not to put yourself in dangerous situations. But my sort of psychological makeup, if you want to call it that, I know that would be a dangerous situation for me to get in, to sort of fall into. Well, you know, you get to know someone, if there's potential, you view there's potential there, and the risk is minimised, and you know how to maintain your sovereignty and be straight with someone, and if they're okay with, you know, these are my sort of rules to a degree. I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids, or won't cohabitate. We have our own separate lives and we come together now and again for companionship or whatever. I know with me that, at least now, isn't a possibility. And this is with all the knowledge that I've gained over the last couple of years, of being fully aware of the dangers for men, with marriage, with relationships in general. Beyond that, with my like I said, my psychological makeup, I'd be a danger to myself in that sort of situation. It's this, I've just, again, way behind the times, as I often seem to be with a lot of things. I've just finished watching Clone Wars, the animated Star Wars series. Love it, amazing. Just getting into the Lost episodes now. But something that was said in that, and again, take it with a pinch of salt, taking your sort of taking life advice seriously from a TV show, this notion of feelings or emotional bonds maybe that can lead to attachments, and inevitably what comes from attachment can be pain, and that's very much being aware, having a degree of self-awareness. I know that's a trap I very much fall into with females, so I'm very hyper aware of that is not good for me. Certainly from a perspective of putting myself first in my life and working on myself and doing what I want when I want. Yeah, attachment is an issue. In spite of everything you learn, the danger is always there, I think. And certain guys are certainly more susceptible to that. And I'd probably include myself in that group, despite what I know. You've got to admit your shortcomings and your things you're not so good at maybe, to improve them really, and things you can't necessarily physically or mentally change. Awareness is key, so you don't fall into the same trap over and over again. You know, the definition of insanity being doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So I'm aware of that. Emotional feelings becoming involved with someone, leading to attachment. Attachment leads to inevitably leads to pain down the line. So I know that isn't an option for me, but it is for other guys who can work within that sphere, maybe like human can, and have that companionship, but keep emotionally distant to a degree within it. So just an idea, another rambly video which I'm pretty adept at. If anybody watches this, let us know what you think. Agree, disagree, it's all good. If it makes sense, let us know. So I'll say peace out for now and have a good day.